Orleans or Barrhaven, two of Ottawa's most popular suburbs, and they are on completely opposite sides of the city. Most buyers compare them on price and just stop there, but the decision goes a lot deeper than that, and getting it wrong is something you'll feel every single day. Today, I'm going to show you how to make the right call for your situation. Hey, it's Dwayne Desveaux, Ottawa Realtor with eXp Realty here in Ottawa, veteran, 25 years in the Canadian Armed Forces, and I've spent a lot of time showing homes in both of these communities. As a matter of fact, I just got back this morning from showing several homes in Barrhaven to one of our military clients. I know what buyers love about each one, and I know what surprises them after they move in, and I know the questions most people forget to ask before they sign the data. Before we get into the details, here's the simplest way I like to frame this for buyers. Orleans is on Ottawa's east end. It's established, bilingual, connected to the Ottawa River, and it has a community identity that's genuinely unique in this city. It doesn't feel like every other Ottawa suburb. Not a bad thing, but just it's intentional. Barrhaven is in the southwest. It's newer, it's faster growing, it's ultra convenient, and it's built around modern family living. Now, if Canada is Ottawa's tech suburb and Orleans is Ottawa's bilingual suburb, well, Barrhaven is Ottawa's everything suburb. It has a little bit of everything, and it's not far from anything you need. That's the starting point. Now, let's go a little bit deeper. A quick numbers before we get into the neighborhoods, straight from the Ottawa Real Estate Board. The composite benchmark for Ottawa in March 2026 sits at 700,000, with single-family homes benchmarking at like 698,000 and townhomes around 554,000. Both Barrhaven and Orleans sit within that range, depending on what you're buying and which pocket or particular neighborhood you're in. April 2026 data shows the average sale price is $712,184, up 0.8% year over year, with the market gradually strengthening as spring takes hold. If you're sitting on the fence, this is worth paying attention. Now, let me start with Orleans, and specifically the thing that surprises most buyers when they actually spend some time there: the bilingual culture. Spent a lot of time in Orleans, and almost every buyer who hasn't seriously considered it before gets caught off guard by it. You notice it immediately. The French schools, the French signage, the French businesses, a strong Francophone presence woven into the fabric of the community in a way that doesn't exist anywhere else in Ottawa suburbs. And here's what I tell buyers who are on the fence about it. The bilingual environment is one of the most underrated advantages in the city for families. If you have kids in French immersion or bilingual schooling and it's on your radar, Ottawa gives you access to programs in a cultural environment that reinforces that every single day, not just in the classroom for 40 minutes a day and then forgotten about. For military families coming through CERVA, this is particularly worth knowing. A lot of CAF postings come with bilingual requirements or preferences, and landing in Orleans means your kids are growing up in an environment that supports them naturally. That's not something you get in Barrhaven or Canada. Beyond the language piece, Orleans has an established feel. It has mature trees, older neighborhoods, river access, which is huge, trails along the Ottawa River, Petrie Island in the summer, great for fishing. There's a lifestyle in Orleans that feels genuinely different from the newer suburbs. And the people that love it, they really love it. A lot of people who grow up in Orleans stay in Orleans. That tells you something. Now, the honest con, and I'll be straight about this: if you're commuting to the West End, to D&D Carling, Canada, the Tech Park, Orleans is going to feel far. The 174 gets congested, and depending on where you're headed, you're looking at a real commute. Test that drive on Tuesday morning before you fall in love with a listing. That's not a knock on Orleans. That's just geography, and it matters. And like every Ottawa suburb, school boundaries do shift. Don't rely on a neighbor's recommendation or a Google comment. Verify directly with the school board when you make your decision, or your favorite realtor. Now, Barrhaven. I say this genuinely. Barrhaven sometimes doesn't even feel like a suburb anymore. It feels like its own city. Costco, restaurants, gyms, parks, schools, a movie theater, sports fields, it's all there. A lot of Barrhaven families barely need to leave Barrhaven during the week unless they're driving all the way downtown for work. Everything is within arm's reach, and that convenience factor is hard to argue with when you're a busy fam. The housing stock is newer too. Most of what's been built in the past 15 to 20 years, modern layouts, open concept main floors, attached garages, energy efficient builds, stacked townhomes. If you want newer construction without paying new build prices. Barrhaven has real options across a range of budgets. And for military families coming through Serva, Barrhaven is one of the first places I take people. New posting, kids in tow, need to be settled fast with everything within reach from day one. Barrhaven is built exactly for that. And it's not that far from Carlin. Now, let me tell you about a scenario I see play out regularly, because this might be exactly where you're at. CAF member getting posted to Ottawa, bilingual household, both English and French at home, 2 kids, ages 9 and 12. They came with Barrhaven at the top of their list. They've researched it online, love what they saw. Budget was solid. We went and looked at 3 homes in Barrhaven, love them. Great layouts, great yards. Kids were already picking bedrooms. There was a park across the street. Then I asked one question: are you looking for French immersion for the kids? They were. It was actually a priority. And I said, hey, before you make any decisions, I want to take you to Orleans one afternoon. Just go see it. We went within 2 hours. The whole conversation shifted. The school options, the community feel, the river, trails, the fact that their kids would be immersed in a bilingual environment every single day, not just at school, but in the community. It changed the calculation completely. They bought in Orleans. And the last message I got from them was about their youngest winning a French speech competition at school. The point isn't that Orleans is better than Barrhaven. It's that the right suburb isn't the most popular one. It's the one that fits how your family actually lives. Now, one thing worth knowing, if transit matters to you, Orleans has a real advantage here because it's only getting bigger. The O Train Line 1 East extension is bringing rail service further east through Orleans all the way to Trim Station. That means Orleans buyers are looking at actual East End rail access as part of their lifestyle. Not just buses and not just park and rides. Orleans has OC Transpo service and park and ride access, and it works most of the time. But let's be honest, Barrhaven is still car dependent. If you're working downtown and transit matters to your daily life, Orleans has the stronger hand right now, and even a stronger one is coming once that rail gets finished. So here's how I actually help buyers land on the right one or the other. Orleans is probably your neighborhood if you're bilingual, you have kids in French immersion, you work in the East End of the city, or downtown with transit access. You want mature neighborhood with character, outdoor lifestyle, river access, so you can go fishing all day long, or you're a military family where language requirements or bilingual culture is part of your life. Barrhaven is probably your neighborhood if you want newer construction with modern layouts. Convenience is your number one priority. You're relocating and need a complete turnkey community from day one, or your commute takes you south, southwest, or you work from home, which, right now, Ottawa buyers have more breathing room than they've had in years, and the market is finding its footing after a slow winter. Spring is shaping up to be a meaningful window for those who are ready to act. Both communities are well positioned. The question is just which one fits your particular lifestyle. If you're trying to figure that out, whether you're buying for the first time, relocating, or you're just getting a posting message and you're starting to map out Ottawa, wondering where to start, drop me a comment below or hit the link in the description. I've helped families make this exact decision, and I'm happy to walk you through it. And if you haven't seen my Canada versus Barrhaven or Canada versus Stittsville breakdowns, those videos are right here. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. I'll see you in the next one.